on air, online, and on the go. This is 7 and 4 News at 5. Get connected.
Good evening. I'm Mark.
And I'm Kristen Lowe. Coming up in the first half hour on 7 and 4 News at 5, thousands all across northern Michigan are cleaning up tonight after a round of severe weather we don't usually see. We'll show you which areas may have gotten the worst of it.
Plus, last night's storms also broke some records. We're going to show you just how big the hail was that fell out of the sky in Ogama County.
And power companies are working overtime to restore electricity to thousands without it. We'll tell you which areas are still in the dark and how long they could stay that way. Those stories are coming up, but as always, your complete forecast first at 5 with 7 and 4 Storm Team meteorologist Colleen Melberg. Hey, Colleen.
Hey there, Kristen. And as we just mentioned, the dangerous severe weather rolled through the area just last night, and this is all too common of a scene for several viewers and residents of northern Michigan. The green, purple, and black sky could be seen for several areas from the Straits area all the way down towards Big Rapids, moving into the downstate territory. Some very dangerous storms, as they mentioned. Some record-sized hail actually came through the area. But the good news is those storms are now past, just a few spotty showers this evening. But as those showers do move through, we are going to see the potential of a few water spouts to form tonight and into the morning hours tomorrow. So we're not done with our crazy pattern of weather just yet. And as that cooler air moves in, we are going to see temperatures dropping into the 60s for daytime highs. Already in the 60s for a few spots. Sault Ste. Marie at 61, 70 in the Gaylord area, 70 in Bel Air. And these are going to be close to the daytime high temperatures that we see tomorrow as well. So a very chilly way to start off the first week of August. It feels more like the end of September into October than the beginning of August. Now, winds have still been breezy. There is another weak cold front still draped across the state this evening, still kicking up some powerful lake breezes, and that's why we are seeing a few showers starting to form off those breezes, now moving across the Upper Peninsula into our area as well. These will continue to move across into that pattern just like we saw yesterday, the same storm motion. Again, that cold front located just across the tip of the mitt in our area. Those showers again moving through quite quickly this evening. And the greatest chance for some water spouts to form tomorrow morning will actually be into Lake Huron and into Lake Superior. You can see those showers still located way off to our north and west of Superior. These are to continue to trail down overnight tonight and into the day tomorrow. Once those are gone, then we're going to finally start to dry out. So stormcast this evening, cold front still draped across near the tip of the mid area, bringing a few scattered showers located across lower northern Michigan. We'll still see some clouds overnight tonight, drying out into the early morning hours. But as we move back into the daytime, we are going to have daytime heating mixed with those lake breezes, again producing a few more showers possible, mainly located in lower Michigan, but still can't rule out the possibility of a shower to be into the eastern Upper Peninsula area. Drying out then Tuesday night, Wednesday, again, a few more clouds to start off the day, but that's when we're going to start to see a pattern change. Warmer weather into the weekend, also some drier conditions. So here's a look at the pinpoint forecast for tonight. Temperatures into the 40s and 50s. Partly cloudy overnight. Same story for the eastern northern lower Michigan. 50s. Same towards Grand Traverse Bay. Maybe a shower or two possible before midnight tonight. 53 in Big Rapid. Again, a stray shower is possible. Partly cloudy for Rudyard tomorrow. Brevort as well. 67 in Atlanta. 66 in Gaylord. Again, watch out for a few showers tomorrow morning into the afternoon with that water spout potential over the Great Lakes. So your extended day forecast, we are going to see some chilly weather the next couple of days. Highs only 60s and 70s. We are going to stay away from that severe weather all the way into next weekend. All more on your forecast coming up. Mark, Kristen.
I saw it last night. It was just, holy mackerel. We're going to be here a long time. I've never seen anything like this.
Everywhere you look, the signs of last night's storm can be seen. In Leelanau County, straight line winds knocked over dozens of trees in the Glen Arbor area. Crews were up early this morning trying to clear M22, which has been shut down now in parts for almost 24 hours.
It's all because of this storm and two others that rolled through hours before this one put the finishing touches on much of the damage we're seeing today. Take a look at this incredible video one of our viewers captured as this storm moved in and pounded several counties across northern Michigan. Power crews, road workers, and homeowners are out all across the state trying to get life back to normal. We have team coverage from 4 different parts of northern Michigan tonight. 7 and 4's Michael Gordon is up in Sheboygan County, where lightning split trees in half near the downtown area. But we begin our team coverage tonight with Gabriella Pagan. She has been with the National Weather Service in Leelanau County all day. She joins us now live from what some are calling the heart of where this storm hit. Gabriella, many are wondering if what Glen Arbor saw was a tornado. What did the Weather Service tell you?
Mark and Kristen, so far from what we've seen with the National Weather Service, no, they are saying this was not a tornado, but high winds. They've determined the storm went from west to east, almost in a direct line from Glen Arbor to Traverse City. National Weather Service meteorologists have been out all day assessing the damage. Even though Sunday's storm was not a tornado, straight-line wind damage went anywhere from 80 to 100 miles per hour, hitting Leelanau County multiple times. Meteorologists say just because it wasn't a tornado doesn't mean it didn't do as much damage as one could have.
Well, straight line wind events can produce damage that's on the order of or even greater than some tornadoes. And the damage that we see here in northern Michigan is actually greater than we would see in some cases with weak tornadoes.
I'm told the damage will be noticeable for quite a few years and the landscape won't be the same. Teams are coming in from all around the country to work around the clock, clearing roads and restoring power lines. Now, I'm told basically this entire area behind me in the county is gridlocked. The emergency manager says this is a devastating event that's impacted 3/4 of the county. He says that he has signed the papers for a declaration of emergency. Reporting live in Glen Arbor, Gabriella Pagan, 7 and 4 News.
Thanks, Gabriella. People in Sheboygan are also working to assess the damage to their area caused by Sunday's storm.
Now, the storm hit the downtown area, causing about 1,000 people to lose electrical service. 7 and 4's Michael Gordon joins us now live from Sheboygan. Michael, what's the extent of the damage there?
Mark, I'm in Veterans Park, just a few blocks away from the downtown area. As you can see, there's still a lot of trees down, including this very large one to my left, which was completely uprooted. Similar scenes of destruction can be seen in all the surrounding neighborhoods. Sheboygan city officials estimate that yesterday's storm brought with it more than $100,000 in damages. Much of that comes from parked cars that were crushed by falling trees. The storm hit Sheboygan at around 10 a.m. Sunday morning. Most of the power is back on here tonight, but some were without power for nearly 9 hours.
It's been a very good job, and especially since the damage occurred on a Sunday. We had a very good reaction time from our DPW department and fire department, police services to handle the situation.
Much of that damage was concentrated around Huron and Court Street. Sheboygan's Little League field also suffered severe damage. Fortunately, no serious injuries have been reported. Now, Eustace also told me that all the major blockages have been removed and taken care of, but some cleanup operations will continue on through the rest of the week. Live in Sheboygan, Michael Gordon, 7 and 4 News.
All right, thank you, Michael. There are still downed power lines in the area. Residents who see one should avoid it. Get a hold of the power company right away. Well, that storm set records in Ogemaw County. The storms dropped some of the largest hail in Michigan's history last night in West Branch. Charlie LaPastora from our sister station ABC 29 and 8 went and saw the damage it caused. He joins us live from our bureau at the Roscommon Chamber of Commerce. Charlie, all right, how big was the hail?
Mark, it was more than 4 inches, which makes that hail size the largest ever recorded in northern Michigan. Now we're going to show you video from a West Branch resident who saw this hail destroy thousands of dollars worth of his family's property. As he took shelter inside with his father-in-law, they saw 2 windows break, the roof get damaged, and the power go out. The National Weather Service says the hail was so big in the West Branch area that it was around the size of a softball.
This whole area down here, from here to the cabin, was a river, flooded, 4 inches deep. We had about 3 inches of water in a half hour. Look at all the damage to the cars and to the, it's crazy. Broken windows. I've never seen anything like this before.
Now, Cervantes told me there was at least $20,000 worth of damage done to his property. Reporting live from the Roscommon Bureau for 7 and 4 News, I'm Charlie LaPastora with ABC 29 and 8.
All right, thanks, Charlie. Dozens of crews were stationed at the West Branch Walmart parking lot to clean up trees and knock down power lines in that area. Residents there don't expect power to be back up until at least Wednesday. Well, lots of folks rushed to their nearest store to get water today after losing electrical service. Tom's Food Market in Traverse City says they were constantly restocking the shelves with more water. Many people got gallons, water bottles, and ice. Thousands remain without power, though, following yesterday's storms.
But help is on the way, and there's also help available right now if you're waiting to have power restored. Tom Kramer from our sister station, ABC 29 and 8, is live tonight in Wexford County. Tom, what are the outage numbers like in that area?
Hi, Mark and Kristen. Yeah, at last count, Consumers Energy says a little more than 5,000 homes and businesses are still without power in Wexford County. But as you say, help is on the way. Earlier this morning, I ran into this convoy of orange trucks. The company contracts with consumers to help clear trees. 10 crews made the drive north this morning, not knowing exactly where they would be working, only told to pack 3 or 4 days worth of clean clothes. And the YMCA in Cadillac, they're also stepping up to help, opening their showers and bathrooms to anyone without power.
As a YMCA, one of the things that we say we do is that we're for social responsibility. And at times when the community needs to pull together to help each other out, that's where we want to be. And so this is one of the ways we do that. We achieve social responsibility by just saying, hey, we have showers, you're in a time of need, come on in and use them.
As you can imagine, businesses, too, are being impacted by these outages. The gas station behind me, I'm here at the corner of M37 and M55. In just a few hours this afternoon, they've counted more than 250 cars that they've had to turn away simply because these pumps aren't working. Live in Wexford County, Tom Kramer for 7 and 4 News.
All right, thanks, Tom. In other parts of northern Michigan, the very latest power outages from Consumers Energy show more than 6,000 customers without power in Leelanau County alone. On the Old Mission Peninsula and Acme areas of Grand Traverse County, nearly 3,500 are still in the dark. More than 10,000 are missing power in Kalkaska, Antrim, Massaukee, Wexford, and Roscommon counties, and the earliest estimates for those folks is it will be turned on late Wednesday night or Thursday afternoon. A reminder, you can get the latest power outage numbers and weather forecasts, including a live look at the radar anytime by downloading our Up North Live mobile app. It's free. We've added a lot of new features to help you get information even quicker. Just search your app store for Up North Live and download it.
You can also get that information anytime by logging on to our website, UpNorthLive.com. Coming up next, you've seen the damage and the cleanup efforts, but last night's storm was also one of the worst northern Michigan has ever seen.
Meteorologist Colleen Melberg will take us inside of it to see exactly how big it was.
Plus, a Leelanau County family was trapped right in the middle as trees and branches snapped around all of them. We'll hear their story next on 7 and 4 News at 5.
Ask the Pharmacist is brought to you by Thompson Pharmacy and Medical.
National Weather Service meteorologists have been out all day assessing the damage overnight in Leelanau County. They told us despite claims of tornado touchdown, Sunday storms were not that of a tornado, but actually straight line wind damage, reaching speeds about 100 miles an hour. The heart of these winds were centered in Glen Arbor and Traverse City. Of course, Leelanau County is just one of several areas which are picking up the pieces tonight.
The damage is widespread everywhere from Lake Michigan to Lake Superior. We turn things over now to 7 and 4 Storm Team meteorologist Colleen Melberg. Colleen, this is all anyone is talking about, but what can you tell us about how big this storm actually was?
Well, it was very massive in size. It actually had 4 rounds of severe weather yesterday. The first round was near the Straits, and each one slowly progressed its way southward through the state. So everyone did get a piece of this severe weather yesterday. So it was a very widespread event, and these storms actually created a very long line of severe thunderstorms that traveled all the way downstate. Now, some of the images that people have been sharing have been beautiful, breathtaking photos, but also very scary. You can see all those green colors. That means hail was in those photos. And these have been very unique. A lot of people asking, what type of clouds are these? Well, these are called shelf clouds, and that big boundary you see is the actual shelf pushing out. It's the difference between in a thunderstorm, what's called an updraft, and a downdraft, which means some very dangerous winds are associated with this. It's called a gust front. So here's just another image sent in. This is from James out of Sugar Beach. Just another beautiful photo of that shelf cloud with a very severe line of thunderstorms stretching all the way from near Petoskey down towards the Leadington area. These are very powerful storms that moved through, but these weren't the only clouds that we did see. There's actually some other unique clouds. These are called mammatus clouds. Now, these are not as well known, but they are known to form around severe weather. Sometimes they're indicative of some tornadoes, but however, as we mentioned, it was just straight line wind damage that we did see with these photos. But again, very unusual weather that we did see here in northern Michigan, but again, beautiful but terrifying for many areas.
Yeah, we were talking about this before we went on the air about we have seen in the past up here areas of damage like this that tend to be very isolated, but this was wave after wave over county. It's so big.
There was just so much energy in the air that it just kept refueling storms, so everyone got a piece of it.
Yeah, it's unbelievable to see the pictures on social media and coming in from all over.
Right.
And they all kind of look the same. A lot of down trees on houses, on cars, across roads.
Right, and just coming home from work last night after all the storms, it was a scary drive, power out, trees everywhere,
dark.
so I can only imagine where the worst spots were.
All right, well, hopefully we'll get some good weather for the folks that are out there having to clean all of this up.
It looks like it will.
All right, thanks, Colin. Well, in Glen Arbor, out in Leelanau County, there are trees down nearly everywhere you look there. Thousands of people still without power, and it might not be completely restored until Thursday. Many of the roads are impassable, including right there, that's M22. Well, a Leelanau County woman and her children were trying to leave town yesterday just as those damaging storms ripped through town.
They ended up getting trapped in their car less than 100 yards from the driveway of their home. 7 4's Alyssa Heron spoke with the family today to hear how they got through the storm.
Within seconds, there just was boom, boom, boom all over the car. I was just petrified. My kids were in the back seat.
Amy and her 2 children, Timothy and Jayla, were trapped just seconds after leaving their Glen Arbor home on their way to Pittsburgh Sunday night.
And we got about 50 yards away from the driveway and a tree fell down in front of us. So we were just going to turn around and go back. And then by the time we reached our driveway, another tree fell, so we were stuck in between.
Unsure if there were any downed power lines, Amy quickly called 911 around 4 o'clock. Her brother-in-law, who lived down the street, made it to her first and was able to check the car and help her family out.
One of the doors was able to be opened, so we all crawled to that door. And then we crawled across these trees across the road, probably 50 yards down, and then started to walk.
Now, Amy and her 2 children were extremely lucky to make it through this rubble unharmed, but what's unknown at this time is the condition of her car, when crews will be able to get to it, and when they'll be able to make a path into Glen Arbor.
We're going to have to special cut around it because we won't be able to push it with a loader with the car there.
The Leelanau County Road Commission says the path of thick debris goes on for about a mile on North M22 into Glen Arbor.
Nobody, even the old timers, never seen anything like this before.
In Leelanau County, Alyssa Heron, 7 4 News.
With all that damage and with so many people without power, a shelter has been set up at the Glen Arbor Township Hall. About 100 people stayed there last night, and people have been in and out today charging their cell phones. Local restaurants have been providing food. Disaster services from the northern chapter of the American Red Cross is sheltering help as well. Coming up next in health news, paralysis might not be forever anymore.
There's a new electric stimulation treatment. Ability to move their legs for the first time in years.
My goal is just to be able to get to a point where I can fit in socially, I can go out with my friends.
Plus, kids can be picky eaters sometimes. However, there are some who take it to the extreme. Hear why doctors say those behaviors can actually be dangerous to their mental health. That's next right here on 7 4 News at 5.
News tonight, electrical stimulation of the spinal cord is giving paralyzed patients new hope. 5 men with complete motor paralysis had currents sent to their nerves from electrodes placed on their lower back. After 18 weeks, the men could move their legs with no electric stimulation at all while being suspended in the air. It's not the same as actually walking, but experts say it shows spinal injuries might not necessarily equal a lifetime of paralysis. Most parents have encountered kids who like a food one day and then decide they hate it the next. Those are very typical picky eaters. Most eventually expand their tastes, but some take picky eating to the extreme. New research shows that could be a troubling sign of psychological disorders like depression or anxiety.
When they make it sound simple, why don't you just pick something up and eat it? But it's like, if I could just eat it, I can promise you I would have done it by now.
These are just sensitive kids. They see, they see things more intently, they feel things more deeply, and that's both in their own internal experience and the world around them.
Early intervention could be key so kids can get the most effective therapies possible. Experts do have some tips for parents of all picky eaters. Number 1, make family meals a priority. 2, don't argue over food at the dinner table. And 3, practice trying new foods at other times of the day when kids are less likely to put up a fight over food. Time now for your lifestyle forecast. Let's send it over to Colleen.
Well, good evening. Despite all the stormy weather we saw yesterday, people are still making their way towards the beaches today and will do so into the next couple of days, but it is going to be a little bit on the cooler side. We're not going to be seeing those 80-degree temperatures like we have been last week. So here's a look at the water temperatures currently this evening. Into the 60s and 70s for most of the Great Lakes, of course. Lake Superior is that exception with temperatures in the 40s for a few spots there. Water temperatures will feel a little bit cooler with the air temperature only being in the 60s. And here's a look at wave heights as well. Yesterday with those storms rolling through, they were up to several feet high, now down to just less than 2 feet for most areas. So that is good news for people who have plans to go boating in the next couple of days. It looks like the waters will be less choppy and a little bit more calm. We are not done with the showers quite yet, though. We do have a weak cold front passing behind that large cold front that brought all that stormy weather yesterday. This will just bring a chance for a few more showers into the evening and tomorrow morning, especially. Again, there is a chance for possibly a waterspout to form over the Great Lakes. So keep that in mind if you have plans to be out of the beach tomorrow. We still could see a little bit of some rough weather at times. I'll have a closer look at our cooler week forecast coming up, but first, here's your Fish and Game report.
Well, electric crews were busy today working to try to restore electrical lines that were damaged during the storm. Many trees fell down across northern Michigan, and with them, they took power lines. Roads remained blocked off as crews worked on those lines. Crews say never approach or touch a downed power line.
We started moving crews into the state, calling our other contractor crews within the state to line them up before the storms even hit. And that's what we do that whenever we see a big storm coming. Then when the storm hit, we saw the extent of the damage and got going on getting the crews from out of state up here in Michigan.
Consumers Energy says all available crews in Michigan are working to restore service. The Office of Emergency Management and Homeland Security issued a state of emergency in Grand Traverse County. They say they did this to get help from the state and are looking to get more wood chippers in our region. They say all their needs are met right now. The Civic Center is offering free showers to residents without water between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. until power is restored.
The headaches caused by last night's storms are being felt by thousands, but several campers at the DH Day Campground at the Sleeping Bear Dunes are just happy to be alive. Storms pounded Leelanau County harder than just about anywhere else in northern Michigan. Tents, campers, and picnic tables were tossed around by high winds and smashed by trees. The storms moved in so quickly, many people didn't have much time to react as branches started snapping and trees started falling on their campsites.
The tree that I was hammocking from split in half, fell down. I fell straight to the ground, rolled out of my hammock. I looked where the tree fell, and it fell right on our neighbor's table where they were sitting. So I sprinted over there. I said, I yelled at them, "Is everyone okay?" And they were really scared. They were collecting themselves, and they did not get hit. They must have just got missed.
Campers were asked to leave the park by 10 this morning so rangers could start cleaning and repairing campsites. Thankfully, nobody was hurt.
Coming up next, it's all anyone has talked about today, and we're going to keep doing exactly that.
Our 7 and 4 storm team is calling it one of the worst storms in our area in decades. We have it covered from every angle. We'll show you how communities are cleaning up across northern Michigan. That's next. You're watching 7 and 4 News at 5.